76 rather, and today's topic is preventing a really tough week. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Evie Burke, and I help women entrepreneurs take their productivity to a new level. So at the end of the day, they don't have to worry about what they didn't get done or what needs to be done tomorrow, but instead they can be completely and fully present with the people that they spend their off hours with. Let me see if this is working a little bit better here. I believe it is. Okay. So the topic for this week, the how to survive a tough week or how to prevent a really tough week. This came about because last week my husband Nate was gone with our church's high school youth on mission trip. And I decided to take the week off and just really not plan a whole lot of anything. Last year, when he was gone, I had huge plans for what I wanted to accomplish that week. I was thinking I'm going to have the house to myself. I can get a lot done around the house. I can get a lot done in my business. I was planning on getting up early, going to bed early. I'm going for walks every day and just getting a lot of things done. What actually happened was very different. Instead, I stayed up late. I slept in just about every single day. Pretty sure I'm pretty sure I skipped a networking meeting that I was planning on attending, and I really just did the bare minimum so that on the outside it looked like everything was going on as usual in my life. But really what happened was I wasn't doing much anything. I was watching a lot of Netflix. And when Nate got home, I was just grumpy and tired and feeling very sorry for myself. And then I was feeling guilty that I didn't get everything done that I had accomplished and that my week didn't go the way I planned. And it was just kind of this spiral down, right? And it wasn't a good time. And I remember at one point just sitting and asking Nate, because this spilled into the rest of August. And I remember asking Nate, "Do you think I need to see a therapist?" And he says, "No, you'll be fine. You don't need to see a therapist." In retrospect, I think I really could have been helped, and I'll talk a little bit more about that at the end. So anyway, this year I did not want this experience. And as I was looking back on what I could do differently, I remembered that there was something else that happened before he left last year that affected what was happening. And what it was is I was supposed to be watching a friend's dog the week that Nate was gone. And I had planned my week around spending time with this little puppers. And I was so looking forward to it. And I was planning, to get up early and take him for a walk and, take him for a walk in the afternoon. And, just the week that the dog was my uh, center stone. That's not the word. I'm looking at my notes here to see if I can find it. It was the dog was my center point for the week. Like all of my schedule that week was scheduled around that dog. But a couple of days or a few days before Nate left last year, I found out that I wasn't going to be watching this dog, and I was so disappointed. Now, I do want to say that the dog's owners, his family, this was the best decision for their dog. Their dog's a bit anxious, and their dog has spent time here with me before, but their dog is very anxious, and they were able to make kind of at the last minute plans that allowed somebody to come in and stay at their house. So their dog wouldn't have to be not only in a new surroundings or a new place, but with a new person, but their dog could be in the surroundings that he was used to with a new person. It was the best choice for their dog, but I was very disappointed. I was very disappointed that I wasn't going to have the companion I had expected for the week. And I didn't adjust my expectations for how my week was going to go. And I found out that the dog wasn't going to be there. I thought, oh, it'll be fine. I will still get up early and stay up late, but I didn't have that cornerstone. I didn't have that touch point in my week anymore. And as a result, a lot of things really went wrong for me last week. Or last year. Last week went really well. So, like I said, last week I adjusted my expectations. I decided that I was not going to work. I was going to take the week off. I was going to take vacation. I was only going to be doing, for business, the only thing I was going to be doing was the Unnamed Productivities Club, Unnamed Productivity Club accountability call that happened on Monday. And then I ended up with a few other things scheduled that week. All in all, there were 6 things. So I spent the weekend at my parents'. So Nate left. I dropped him off early Saturday, came home, showered, got ready, and then headed out to my parents' for the weekend. Again, the accountability call for the Unnamed Productivity Club happened on Monday. On Tuesday, I have an ongoing church meeting, so I did that on Tuesday morning, and then from there went to Phillips Park with a friend and her daughter, and we went and saw the zoo, and her daughter played in the splash pad and played in the park and just had a good time and a good chat and catch up with her. And then on Thursday, I watched a friend's kids for the day. She was on mission trip too, and to be able to go, she needed somebody to watch her kids one day because her husband was going to be at work and they didn't have anybody to watch the kids one day that week. So I said I'd do that. And then I had Friday night meditation. So it ended up being a really good mix of unscheduled and scheduled time. And only one of those 6 things ended up not happening, and that was me going to the meditation. Friday, I wasn't paying attention to time, and all of a sudden my phone's dinging and saying, hey, meditation starts in 10 minutes. And I was 35 minutes away sitting at home. It's like, okay, well, apparently I'm not going to that. So I also had a long list of, hey, if I want to do something, here's some things to do. And I shared the list with Nate before he left, and I joked that I doubted that anything more than like 1 or 2 items was going to be done. I didn't think I'd get very far on that list. But I actually got about 40% of the list done. And most of the list involved cleaning or tidying up the house, and I thought that was a huge accomplishment that I got anything done, much less almost 40% of that list done. So as you can probably hear, my experience from last year versus my experience from this year of having Nate gone were very different. Last year, kind of a downward spiral, and this year I really enjoyed myself. I really had a good time. And I want to unpack a little bit of what happened. So, saying that my week last year crashed and burned is probably an understatement. And there's a few things that, in retrospect, I really could have done differently that would have given me a better experience. And that would have been recognize that I had made the dog's schedule, the feeding, walking, playing, all of that time. Recognize that I had made that the anchor for my week and adjust my expectations for the week. Realize that I wasn't going to be getting up at 6 a.m. every morning, that I was probably going to be getting up at 7:30 or 8 o'clock, that I needed to be realistic about what I was going to be doing during the day, that just because I was by myself didn't mean that I was going to be able to put in 12 hours of work. I've never been that type of person. I get burnt out and need to find something else to do. And instead of creating, that huge long list of things to do to fill my day that I thought, yes, I'm going to get this done, really pared it back and looked at, okay, what really needs to get done this week and what would like to get done this week. And because I didn't want a repeat of last year this year, and already knowing that it was just going to be me this year, I set my expectations fairly low. I only had one business thing on my to-do list, the accountability call for the Unnamed Productivity Club. I had some cleaning and some tidying that I wanted to do around the house, but I didn't expect to actually do it. It was just a way for it to get out of my head and onto a piece of paper. And I had scheduled to go to the Phillips Park and Phillips Park Zoo with a friend because I knew I wanted to be out of the house and doing something, so I wasn't just sitting at home by myself all week. And those things made a big difference. And in retrospect, the things that made the biggest difference were the things that got me out of the house. So a couple of the things that I didn't realize were really going to be helpful to me that were super, super helpful were spending the weekend at my parents' house. So instead of coming home after Nate left and just lazing about the house and, feeling kind of bad that for myself and figuring out how I was going to spend Saturday and Sunday, I went to my parents' house and I had a really good time. My sister was there for the weekend too, and we um we had a good time. It was a really good weekend. And the the other thing was not removing the Tuesday morning meeting at church and still going to that. That was a huge thing. And then also babysitting my friends' kids. Again, getting me out of the house, having me be responsible for something other than just myself. It was a really good time, and her kids are they're a nice age range. The oldest one is in junior high, and the youngest one is 6, and her daughter is I think about 10. And so it was just a nice age range. The older ones are pretty self-sufficient, so it was just fun to hang out with them and spend time with them. So these things that got me out of the house gave me enough structure to my week that the unstructured days went a lot smoother. And I was able to tackle um, the most ambitious of my might do things on Monday, which really moved me into the week feeling accomplished and wanting to get just a couple of other things done, which was again really good for me. And here's what last year's experience versus this year's experience has really taught me that even though I'm an introvert and I love being at home, I can't do that 24/7. That's just not in my best interest. That if I am home by myself for a week, I need to be out of the house um, over the course of 7 days, at least 3 days of that week, just to get me out interacting with other people. Maybe that means I'm not an introvert. Maybe I'm an ambivert. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I've realized is really important for me. So, what can you learn from my experience? What can you take away from this? And one of those things is for scheduling. Just pay attention to when does your schedule work the best. I heard I've heard a couple of extroverts say this actually, that when they have a day of work that's going to keep them in their office and they're not going to be able to go out and have social interaction that day, that they like to start their day with a phone call of some sort, whether that's a one-on-one with somebody, a meeting, just something that gives them some energy from someone else that's super important for them. So if you're an extrovert and you know that about yourself, think about that. What do you need to do in your day to really set it up for success? And then introverts are generally better served to do their at home by themselves things early in the day, so they're conserving energy, and then going and doing the things that put them out there in front of or with other people. That's generally how I work the best. And also know what interactions do you need through the week. So do you do better to schedule meetings in the morning or in the afternoon? Is it best for you to schedule them kind of dispersed throughout the week, or to schedule them all on 1 or 2 days of the week? What is it that really works for you? And thinking about that, not just for what serves your business, but really what serves you. What is in your best interest? And then when something goes spectacularly bad for you, like my week last year by myself, or something goes pretty good for you, like my week by myself this year, kind of unpack those things, especially when they're similar situations and you have two different experiences with them. So unpack it a little bit and think about what led to the experience that you had. What were your expectations? How were those expectations met, or how were they not met? What were other major contributing factors? Like for me, last year, one of the contributing factors was really expecting to and looking forward to having a dog to watch that week, and then not having a dog to watch. And then for me, last week, one of the contributing factors was the fact that I had scheduled myself and made commitments that got me out of the house a few times last week. And another question to ask yourself is, what would you do differently or the same next time? What were the things that really worked about the situation, and what were the things that didn't really work so well for you? Okay? So those are just some questions to think about. Really, don't be afraid to unpack experiences that you have, even especially when they go really bad, because usually there's something to learn there that can really help you going forward. And then, like I said, last year I really probably could have benefited from having some extra help. And even after Nate returned home, because that week kind of bled into August, I really think it would help me out to have seeked out some extra help and worked with a therapist. And I recently found out about an app because I watch YouTuber Philip DeFranco, and he has been sponsored by this app, by this company, a couple of times, and I know that he also uses them himself. And I haven't used it, oops, but Phil has, and it's called BetterHelp, betterhelp.com, and it connects you with affordable private online counseling with licensed therapists. And if you don't already have a relationship with a therapist and you think you might benefit from one, but you don't know where to go, check it out. Now, that said, there we go. Now the link's there. That said, if you are in crisis, this isn't the best place to go. Like if you need help immediately, if there is something going on and you need crisis help, check out this other link, betterhelp.com/gethelpnow, for that help. BetterHelp isn't sponsoring me. I just know that sometimes the barrier to getting the help you need is how easy or how quickly you can find it. So if you need help, whether you think you might need some help, or you just have like this little niggly feeling that says, things might go a little smoother for me if I had, a therapist or somebody like that in my back pocket, go and check out betterhelp.com. So that's all I have for you guys today. I hope that you found a nugget of something helpful for yourself in what I shared today, and I would love it if you would share that nugget with me. Just because sometimes I don't know how much of the struggles that I shared today from last year. I don't know how much of that is helpful to you guys. Whether you guys like the how-tos more, or whether you like some of these personal experiences more. So let me know what those nuggets are. I would just love to hear them. And until next week, much love. Bye.